Author's note: the braised rib recipe is attributed to the restaurant GinandCotton from the novel Follow Me, Tattered Veils. GinandCotton is modeled on the real-life fine dining restaurant Cotton Row, located in the historic Cotton Trading Market District of downtown Huntsville, Alabama. Opened in 2008, Cotton Row offers fine American cuisine with strong Southern influences. And now, back to the braised ribs.
Hi, it's Jessica Donegan, author of Follow Me, Tattered Veils, and today we're going to be making some braised short ribs and a couple other fixings, but we're going to start with the short ribs, and I'm just going to show you how you can make this meal at home. It is a signature dish for the GinandCotton in my restaurant in my book, Follow Me, Tattered Veils, and these are the ingredients we're going to use to make that. Starting here closest to me, we've got the mushrooms, and then I'm going to end up with a dash of this curry powder, and a dash, 2 or 3 of these bay leaves. Then I've got the diced tomato cans, beef broth, a dash of paprika, and a dash of chili powder. And then here in my shot glasses, I've got a tablespoon of Greek seasoning, a tablespoon of dried onion powder flakes, and 3 tablespoons of the Mrs. Dash salt-free garlic seasoning. Okay? And then if we move back this way, you can see the meat that I'm going to be using. These are short ribs. These bright ones are actually bone-in short ribs, and these are boneless. Now, for most families of 2 to 4, you're just going to need the 4 bone-in short ribs, but I'm having quite a feast go on. So I got a couple of the boneless ones to supplement that. To get started, I've got my slow cooker. At a restaurant, if you have short ribs, they're going to braise them all day in an oven. But if you're doing it at home, it's a lot easier if you just use the slow cook. So I'm going to start though by turning on the stovetop feature, and I'm going to get a sear on all of these, and then we'll go ahead and we'll move on. Got my tablespoon, got my olive oil. I'm going to get 2 tablespoons in there while I wait for it to heat up. Anyone who does cooking, they know that they don't want to put the meat in before it's warm, so I'm also going to go get me a little sprinkle of water, and that way I'll put it into the oil of the pan, and we'll see it sizzle up, and that's when I'll know. Okay, I'm just starting to hear the sizzle from the water droplets I dropped in, which lets me know the pan is hot. You always, before you put meat into a pan, want to make sure that it's hot, because the whole reason we're doing this is to get a sear. You can only get a sear if the pan is heating. Now, with this, you can see that the meat is very marbled. These big ones, they have bones. I want to have the bones there because when I slow cook, that's going to impart flavor. I'm just going to go ahead, take them here, lay them into your pan right on top of your olive oil. I love the tongs because it gives me such great control. And I do have my boneless chunks. Most of you are probably not going to have a big enough party that you'll need the bone in. This is about 2 pounds of meat that we're cooking right now. But you get a lot from your bone-in short ribs. Very few people are going to be looking for quite the big party I'm having go on, but I got to celebrate this book right. Alright, so I've got all of them there. Got a flat on them. Now that they're set, I'm going to actually get my salt and pepper grinders, grind some seasoning over them. You usually don't want to roast anything, sear it off with all by itself without just a little flavor. I try to keep it really simple. All the herbs will have a long time in the slow cooker to work. So just like a little salt and pepper, brighten it up, enhance the natural flavor here in the meat. I'm going to go ahead, roast each side for about 3 minutes. And when we're done with that, I'll show you the next step. Alright, welcome back. So I've spent 3 to 4 minutes braising each side of these meats, and you can see they have like this nice crispy brown on the end. This is really going to help lock in flavor, lock in moisture while it's slow cooking. So now you can hear sizzling in the background is my pot. I'm going ahead, I'm turning it to low. It's got all these great little crispy bits from the meat and from the salt and the pepper in it. And we really want to go ahead and mix that in and grab that flavor and add it to our slow cook. So what I'm going to do right now is deglaze the pan. I'm going to use this beef broth, pour it in, and then stir it up just so that all those crispies go ahead and melt into the rest of it. So that oil now and the little beef bits and everything are going to be in here. And I'm just going to stir it and make sure that I scrape out the bottom. Get all that up and mixed in. It's just gone nice and quiet for me. And you can see like the little bits coming in. That's going to be all that great flavor that we're getting from these short ribs. And now that we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead, get my spices in there too. So, 3 tablespoons of salt-free seasoning, my powdered onion. You can just slice an onion and put it in there too. And then I've got my Greek seasoning that has salt in it. All right, and then just a dash for flavor for these big spices. I've got my paprika. It's just kind of an eyeball thing. Guys, you're going to have to forgive me. It's a little bit Italian to just sort of eye it and see what you like. The chili gives like the nice rich flavor and a little bit of heat. The curry complements it. Very light on curry though. Very light. You can do a full curried short rib with that flavor if you want, but this one's going to be a more savory Italian flavor. So I just have a light drop on it. Then I need my bay leaves. Bay leaves are whole, they're unedible. You just want 2 or 3. They'll soak in those liquids. They'll add a lot of flavor, but you're going to want to strain that out before you serve. And now I'm into my crushed tomatoes, diced canned, juices and everything go on in there. Okay, once I have that, I'm going to give it a good stir. I'm going to take my pan over from the stovetop side into slow cook. I'm going to slow cook on low for 6 hours. I'm going to ahead, set that up. I'm going to drop my short ribs in. Make sure that all of my meat is fully submerged in the liquid. And then the last thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to top with my mushrooms, give like that, enhance the meaty flavor, give a little nice umami. And if this were going to be a full 1-pot meal, I'd also put about 2 diced zucchinis in there and slow cook it and be done. But I'm going to make you guys some fancy sides too. So this is just for my meat, my mushrooms. They're just going to go in on top. Just settle right there on top. And then I'm going to put the lid on and forget it for 6 hours. That's going to be it.
From the book Follow Me, Tattered Veils, the character Jerry describes the braised short ribs entree at his favorite restaurant, GinandCotton. Jerry prefers to drink rather than eat. Consuming food this decadent takes too much attention, and there's so much else to delight in. Still, he admires all the colors on the short ribs course. Dark, melt-in-the-mouth beef simmers all day to earn its flavor. Large grains of salt catch the light just so, a delicate bouncing act to create that effect without ever oversalting the meat. Roasted, blood-red tomatoes peek from below. The main course sits on the soft yellow glow of cheese cream grits, a callback to the roots of the South. These mortals are so proud of their ability to grow colorful life out of dark soil. Consciously or not, this main course carries that same color profile. Above the soil-brown meat triumphantly rests the raw, living green round, fresh, crisp spinach leaves. The ensemble is finished with an artistic swirl of balsamic drizzle. Each plate's swirl is unique enough to foretell separate futures. Jerry's people are known for their craftsmanship, but they struggle so with the essence of what these beings call the creative element.